By the way, this is a little more modest than I was joking with than that Fresno plan, which was 502 pages, but no less impactful and important. I'm very grateful to you, Norma, and all of you that helped organize this effort over the course of the last few years. All of those community meetings, as Norma said, 52 community meetings went into this plan. 840 people participated in this planning process, the most comprehensive economic and workforce development planning process in our state's history. It's occurring now in 13 regions throughout California. Just a few days ago, I was privileged to accept that 502-page plan from the Sierra San Joaquin regions, representing 4 counties. That was one, again, of 13 plans. This, the second of those 13 plans. We'll be receiving the other plans, and we will be braiding them all together in January and putting out the most comprehensive, place-based, focused community development, bottom-up economic process the state has ever advanced. So it's a point of pride and a point of consideration that we're here. I'm grateful to Eric and your team and to the extraordinary work that you're doing at this site. This site dates back to my birth, 1967, and it's remarkable over the course of the last half century how this particular cement manufacturing facility has evolved and continues to be on the leading and cutting edge. $1 billion that'll be invested in this community at this plant. $1 billion creating family supporting jobs, union jobs. Proud of the work you and Jose and the team have done to continue to operate this plant 24/7 to support not only yourselves and your family, but to support the broader community and to support the broader vision that was set forth in this plan. I had the privilege of meeting with a dozen or so folks, Dolores Huerta included, that were participatory in this plan. We had a chance to dialogue about what specific strategies it includes, opportunities that present themselves anew. And we created a framework of understanding that it's not just about the future. It's also about respecting our proud past. It's about respecting the people that helped build this region, build this economy, and the industries that help build this region and build this economy, and the importance to make sure that we don't leave anybody else behind, that we're not just in the future tense as it relates to economic development. We're in the present tense. We're meeting people where they are. And again, that's why I'm happy and honored to be back here in Kern County, happy and honored to be here with Rudy Salas that helped advance this effort. It was his bill after all, and your funding that organized this effort a few years back. Let me be specific and brief on that effort. I'm mindful that Mayor Go is here, and I'm grateful that she's here. It wasn't just her presence in Bakersfield that was catalytic to this. It was her presence in Sacramento back in 2020 when she met with me expecting and demanding more, not in an argumentative way, but saying that you need to step up your game. The state of California needs to step up its game as it relates to economic development, particularly down here in Kern, particularly in the broader region around Bakersfield. Don't forget about us, was her point. It's not just a coastal economy. I think she even referenced, I appreciate everybody up in Sacramento talking about this being the 5th largest economy in the world. You talk about everybody living in the aggregate, but none of us do live in the aggregate. We live somewhere in California. Not every part of this state is thriving like the entire state of California. And it was that consciousness and the commitment that came from that meeting and the work that she was doing, as well as the mayor of Fresno, Ashley Swearington, was doing, that ultimately inspired this process. We created a framework that built on the work that was already being done, the Fresno Drive initiative up in the Fresno region, the B3K initiative that came out of that example. And we said we want to bring it to a whole nother scale. But it wasn't until Rudy came along and we were able to finance that effort with hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's what makes this different. That's what makes this unlike anything else. This is backed up, yes, with the resources that went in $5 million of planning grants that went to each region. 13 checks were written for $5 million each that informed this process. But in the process of developing these plans, we put out $30 million in early grants to 8 specific projects. And we said that at the back end of this process, you'll also be receiving, as Kern already has, $14 million for ready-to-go projects. That could be business planning projects, that could be land use strategies, that could be CEQA projects, that could just be moving to accelerate progress that's already being advanced. But because of Rudy's support and the legislature support, we're also backing that up in January with $120 million of competitive grants that will help foster this promise and this promotion. So that's what makes this different. I mean, in the past, I'm with you. If I see another damn plan, that never gets any attention, just collects a lot of dust, we don't need to absorb any more plans. That said, this is an organic, bottom-up process that I think promotes a lot of promise and a lot of opportunity. Again, worker-centered, people-centered, no one left behind, family-supporting jobs, and a focus, yes, on the present, but yes, back, and I'll close, on the future, picking up a little bit on what Rudy was just saying. Looking at the attributes, the strengths of this region, opportunities that present themselves new in this region on advanced manufacturing, opportunities that present themselves as it relates to carbon management, opportunities as it relates to building on the successful transition that's already taking place in wind and solar in this area, looking at infrastructure, human capital, not just physical capital, as it relates to how we get the utilities to match our ambition in this region, how we make sure we connect everybody. Dolores was reminding us of where broadband is and where it needs to be in this region, and making sure we finish that job on the last mile. Unprecedented investments in that space. We're going to get that job done. It's also about reimagining the future that also is focused on materials. It's focusing on minerals, focusing on the things that are coming together here in this transformation that's taking place at this plant. A circular economy that invests back into the community, not an extractive economy that sends those resources and the byproducts of that success and investment someplace else. So I'm just very grateful to everybody that works so hard. I'm grateful to my team, the co-chairs of the Jobs First Council, Aditi Myers and Stuart Knox, who are here from our respective agencies that have worked so hard on this. Again, to all of the community leaders, we're thankful to you. And final words, I say this often because it bears repeating. A state's commitment is only realized at the local level. It is about bottom up, not top down. You can't sell down a vision. That vision is realized region by region, community by community. And so the spirit, the overriding spirit that defines this process is the spirit that will define its success into the future. And so that resides within you, not just the opportunities in front of you. So I look forward to partnering with all of you over the course of the next few years. Look forward to working with the legislature. You did the hard work. You have the prioritization. You have the strategies. You've built those partnerships, public-private, public-public, and now it's our job to help support you as well as the federal government in stewarding this new vision for the future forward. Thank you all very, very much for being out here. Thank you, guys.